everyone. Coming up here on the Pro Wrestling Show presents the SmackDown Ring Report. Coming up, Finn Balor, the former Universal Champion, goes head-to-head with former rival Tama Tonga. We'll talk about that. Coming up, Finn Balor getting his matches come time. Plus, two former best friends settle the score. Trick Williams, the current U.S. Champion, taking on Carmelo Hayes, who looks to settle the score tonight. If Carmelo gets the opportunity against Trick, earn himself a U.S. title shot. We'll see. We kick off SmackDown with this. CM Punk returns to SmackDown as the new Undisputed Champion after winning the championship this past Monday on Raw. CM Punk did it over Sami Zayn. Let's talk about it. We get the Pro Wrestling Show started right here, right now. Hello, everyone. Welcome to this edition of the Pro Wrestling Show. I'm your host, as always, Kid Dix here. Glad you're joining us in the Pro Wrestling Show. Join in the conversation using the hashtag Pro Wrestling here on Connect. But don't forget to subscribe. Subscribe if you can. Tell a friend. Call a friend. Hit that subscribe button so you won't miss a thing. Like I said, the show this big, and we ain't gonna waste no time whatsoever. We're gonna get things started right here, right now, here on the Pro Wrestling Show. So we get things started with none other than the general manager, Nick Aldis. Nick Aldis played a pivotal role tonight, a critical role tonight. We'll tell you a little bit later what Nick Aldis' role was, featuring him in the ring general Gunther, which, I mean, Gunther issued the ultimatum to Nick Aldis to say, to make things right, he wants to be in the SummerSlam match that Nick Aldis had set up. Nick Aldis introduced the WWE champion CM Punk. Punk came out there, well, bloods are glary after winning the championship this past Monday on Raw, which it was a given. When you think about it, CM Punk defeated Sami Zayn to win the match to become the new WWE champion. CM Punk won the championship 15 years to the day that he did 15 years ago. Remember Money in the Bank, 2011? Man, 15 years come and go by so fast. Man, it was just like yesterday. But CM Punk back again on top of the mountain once again as the WWE champion. And CM Punk did not waste no time whatsoever. CM Punk got to business, and Nick Aldis decided to give Punk a match against Cody Rhodes for the WWE title. Cody versus Punk for the WWE Championship will happen at SummerSlam. So the match has been made official. CM Punk versus Cody Rhodes for the Undisputed Championship. This match was supposed to be made coming up for WrestleMania next year, but they're going to fast forward and bring the match a little bit faster than it's scheduled. CM Punk versus Cody Rhodes. That's going to be probably night one. SummerSlam. We don't know if they're going to have some of the matches that could be, but we could see coming up. But we'll get into it a little bit later with Punk touring around SmackDown as its figurehead champion once again. So CM Punk back in the mountaintop again as the SmackDown, as the champion again. CM Punk met someone other than the name of Finn Balor, who we could be having matches against. I think they did have a World Championship match before. So CM Punk and Finn Balor getting reacquainted again. But Finn Balor didn't have to waste no time against CM Punk, the new world champion. Finn Balor was in action as well. He went against Tama Tonga. Finn Balor did not waste no time whatsoever. Hitting the coup de grace on Tama Tonga and getting the win. Finn Balor making a huge win on SmackDown. We'll see what is going to be next for Finn Balor. But you could see Finn Balor versus CM Punk down the road. So who knows? Speaking of Punk, Punk ran also to John Gargano, saying that John Gargano's wife is really holding him back. So there's a lot going on. John Gargano is trying to figure out what he's going to do. He just standing there still. Hopefully someone will bring the challenge to him and try to do that. But CM Punk said he wasn't buying no time. Well, also, too, we saw this right here. We saw Jay and Tom and Jacob, Jimmy and Jacob trying to probably want to iron the tag team titles. That could be their new possibility, new reason now, and they did, but it just didn't do too much. But we see that's they're teasing that as well. So a lot of teasing going on as well. So we saw that and how that went down. But speaking of that, Jacob Fatu's teasing trying to attack Solo. Solo didn't deserve that. Solo got attacked from behind at the Jimmy. Won his match over Royce Keys, pinning Royce Keys with the help of Jacob. Royce Keys didn't really have a shot. So this could lead to a match between Royce Keys and and Jacob coming up. Or Solo versus Jacob once again. You never know what's going on, but we could see that being the case. So hey, we're gonna keep a close eye on that. Speaking of the tag team champions, had a run through with Jimmy and Jacob. Also had a run through with Axion, which they could be going gaining, want to go for the tag team titles. Could see that as well. So a lot of stuff going on as well. Well, Carmelo Hayes saying that it's do or die for him, and he said somebody young Yachty, Lil Yachty saying that Lil Yachty, what's going on with him? Lil Yachty like, man, what that got to do with me? Lil Yachty ain't made a hit. I remember he was with breaking Oprah. Let's say Bopra. That was as well. So well, we told you that about Jacob and Morse Keys and Jimmy. So we told you about that, how that's all gonna play out. Well, Carmelo Hayes was looking to did we show Carmelo? Yeah. Carmelo was looking to gain his match. He was in a match against Trick Williams. Let's show you that right here. Carmelo Hayes going against Trick Williams 1-on-1. Well, Carmelo looks like somebody's returning. Trick Williams showing his newly U.S. championship with the white around it. I don't like stuff like that when they trying to, you know what, with the championship. With John Cena, that was cool, but now they're trying to add feathers to this championship. They should have just left the U.S. title alone. They always trying to customize some. They don't need customizing. For real. What's the U.S. championship need customized when he already could have had white scrap around it? Man, if someone just thinking all that mumbo jumbo stuff. Well, hopefully, Baron Corbin came out of nowhere. We haven't seen him since over a year and a half. He came and clothesline both and attacked both Trick Williams and Carmelo Hayes and left both men laying. It looked like they're gonna try to reunite again, Carmelo and Trick again. They take down Baron Corbin. Baron Corbin came out of nowhere. And Baron Corbin is he's a man on a mission. And one way to come back by doing what you did. Let's see how that's going to be. Plus, two, Jay Carhill was in action. She went against Alexa Bliss once again. And she did. We saw it. But Jay did some like really damaging stuff. Jay, as you see right here, Jay Carhill tried to use the arm of Alexa Bliss, trying to take Alexa Bliss's arm and try to use this wicked shot. And she had Charlotte and Mishin and B-Fair watching as Jay tried to destroy Alexa Bliss's arm. Jay. Remember a match between them at SummerSlam, Jay versus Charlotte at SummerSlam, which really setting up that, doing that. Alexa Bliss, hopefully the severity of her arm is okay. She got dislocated. Hopefully Alexa Bliss will be okay. because that was kind of wicked by Jay. Let's can we see that one more time? Jay Carhill doing something wicked and devious by doing what she did, taking out Alexa Bliss's arm. And she didn't have to deserve that, but she did. You know? See. Speaking of that, Sami Zayn still a little bit PO and pissed off that he didn't get what he wanted, the WWE Championship, retain the WWE title after losing it to Punk this past Monday on Raw. Sami Zayn really set himself up to fail after losing the championship to Punk, and Punk taking the championship away from Sami Zayn. And like we said, CM Punk stunned. We told you on Monday's show. Don't forget, we got Monday's show, a CM archives, so you can watch the archives back to watch. Man, well, Monday this week was a wild week. A lot of 2 championship changes between WWE and AEW with the world championship. But speaking of that, we'll talk about that later. Well, we told you Gunther gave Nick Aldis an ultimatum and told Nick Aldis that he had to the end of the night to make things right and add him to the championship match to make a triple threat. But Nick Aldis decided to tell Gunther that wasn't going to happen. That Saturday Night Main Event, Gunther and Sami Zayn will team up against Punk and Cody Rhodes. Gunther was not happy about that one bit. Gunther decided to unload and unleash his wrath at the general manager. He just literally like attacked Nick Aldis. I want to show you that right quick. Gunther just laid out Nick Aldis and beat him up and did the sleeper, did everything. This is going to set up a match between Gunther and Aldis at SummerSlam. Well, I truly believe that's going to happen. I think Gunther set up the proper channels and stuff. I don't know what's going to go down. I don't know how Nick Aldis is going to do this. He's going to have to recuse himself of wrestling at the wrestle Gunther at SummerSlam, but that was highly uncalled for from Gunther. Gunther wanted an answer and demanded an answer, and he didn't get the answer that he wanted, and that's why he had to turn at Nick Aldis. So a lot of moving parts. SummerSlam moving to a fair shake. We'll tell you about what's going on with SummerSlam right here. But this end wrestling hot top. This end for the SmackDown Ring Report. Let's move over to wrestling hot topics. Wrestling hot topics. Before we leave out here on the SmackDown Ring Report, like we said, Sheamus, the former WWE champion who wanted to stay in WWE, gave his final message. Banger after banger after banger after banger. Sheamus said it so many times. Repeat, rinse and repeat. Sheamus saying that he's no longer going to be a part of WWE. Man, this is going to be messed up not seeing Sheamus on WWE, but maybe they can work something out with Sheamus down the road. Let's hope. Speaking of that, CM Punk, the new WWE champion, releases new dates that he's going to be coming to town. We see a lot. So, like Punk ain't coming to the Birmingham show. Man. But CM Punk also saying this right here, this is interesting statistic. Hasn't wrestled on SmackDown in 12 years. Last time he wrestled on the show, he faced the Shield. So CM Punk, man, that's so long ago. I would never imagine CM Punk that long. But hey, it is what it is. Also, too, Money in the Bank coming to New Orleans. So Money in the Bank coming to New Orleans. You see Penta, Trick Williams, Soul, and everybody else. So we've seen a lot. Also, too, like we said, Nick Aldis announced for SmackDown the main event, Punk versus Cody for the WWE title. So we'll get to see that. But a lot of moving parts tonight. Punk versus Cody. Plus, we saw the return of Baron Corbin coming out of nowhere, attacking both Trick Williams and Carmelo Hayes. So it's a lot of stuff going on and stuff. And then plus two, Interesting piece right there. We told you this week, Jeff Jarrett. I watched the Dark Side of the Ring, part 1 and part 2. Real interesting to hear from Jeff Jarrett's point of view. The whole bunch of others that lived through TNA. I used to be I'm still an avid TNA fan, but I was more avid around that time with TNA. But with Kurt Angles and Samoa Joe, AJ Styles, that type of wrestling. But Jeff Jarrett also played Sting and everybody else. Jeff Jarrett having part 3 had his wife. I think that's the only thing that kind of turned me away. His wife, Karen Jarrett, saying that her and Kurt was separated, but you couldn't tell it. How can you say y'all was separated when y'all was on TV? That just ain't adding up right. That just come on. Saying you had to put on for the show. That still doesn't add right for me. But anyway, like we said, this Tuesday on the NXT Ring Report, this Wednesday for the AEW Ring Report, we'll have recap and analysis on that. All right, we're gonna leave you here on the SmackDown Ring Report. Leave you with Nick Aldis getting brutally attacked. Oh, before we one more thing before we leave. Dakota Kai and Eddie Thorpe, better known as Carl Fredericks, announced that they're engaged. So congratulations to them and stuff. Okay, now we leave out. Once we leave out, we're gonna leave out. We're gonna leave you with Nick Aldis, the SmackDown general manager, being brutally assaulted by Gunther, who demanded that he wanted to be in a triple threat match against Cody and Punk. But instead, he's going to be in a tag team match with Sami Zayn to take on Cody and Punk. And he's angry about it. He took his frustrations out on Nick Aldis. Thank you all for watching this edition of the SmackDown Ring Report. I've been your host, Kendra Dixon. So long. We'll see you this Monday for the Raw Ring Report here on the Pro Wrestling Show.